The year was 1920. Walt Disney was an animator who just started working at the Kansas City Slide Company in Kansas City, Missouri. Disney slowly started to work his way up until he opened his own animated film studio named Laugh-O-Gram Studios. Disney very well made the most iconic cartoons in the entire history of animation.
The earliest known cartoon is called Phantasmagoria. It was made in 1908 and uses fully hand-drawn stop-motion animation. Phantasmagoria had no plot but showed a completely surreal world where lines of a door form into a person, and when a character loses his head, the animator fixes it with his real-life hands. This cartoon paved the way for other early animated films, like Gertie the Trained Dinosaur, which was made in 1914. Gertie the Dinosaur was one of the most popular of its time and used over 10,000 frames. Gertie changed our perspective on cartoons by showing what this medium is capable of. Later, in 1919, Felix the Cat was made. It was a revolution in marketing for animation. Felix had showed future generations of cartoonists that the character does not have to stay on the screen. One year later, a 19-year-old Walt Disney would join the Kansas City Slide Company, along with his friend Ub Iwerks. Disney slowly worked his way up in the animation industry until he made his own animation studio. It was called Laugh-O-Gram Films and ran for about 1 year until it unfortunately went bankrupt. Disney then had to move to Los Angeles, California with his uncle. In his uncle's garage, he opened a new company and got hired by a distributor named Margaret Winkler to work on a live-action animation show called Alice Comedies, which got distributed in 1924. Let's travel to 1928 New York, where Steamboat Willie made its debut. This was the first Mickey Mouse cartoon to have sound. In fact, it was one of the first cartoons to have synchronized sound, period. This was Disney's big hit that made him what he is today. In his entire career, Walt Disney was nominated for 59 Grammys and won 22. He holds the record for most Grammys won.
Walt Disney was a man who changed the way cartoons were viewed by the world. But what else did he do? Well, obvious things so that he showed what the medium was capable of, and trended Hollywood-style releases for animation. But he did much more than that. Disney encouraged positive attitude in films and cartoons. Just picture this. A world engulfed by darkness, by an evil witch that has no hope of salvation. Disney showed us that a happily ever after is always possible.